bring us up to date with the latest situation at the Poland-Ukraine border.
Francine, yes, we are right on that border at a crossing called Medica. The refugees continue to come over. The vast majority, of course, women and children. The total number, as you say, 1.2 million from Ukraine just into Poland. And that's just in the last 12 days. Those numbers continue to grow. This is the biggest refugee crisis Europe has faced since World War II. And here on the ground, the conditions are very challenging. It's -2, as you can probably see. It's snowing. Behind me, just in front of the border crossing, you've got something of a tent village that has sprung up. The police are on the ground, the soldiers, the military as well, the Polish military assisting these refugees. But you also have volunteers from all over Europe, from the UK, from Germany, Belgium. I've met a number who have come here off their own backs to try and help the refugees here. But the system is very basic. People are living and sleeping in tents. They're being given food where they can get it, and supplies, medical supplies and warm clothing. But there is a great need for more. The United Nations telling me that it's on the other side of the border that is really a concern for them, because refugees are having to line up on the Ukrainian side of the border and for sometimes, in some cases, stay overnight a number of days outside in these freezing temperatures before they are able to cross over. And then, of course, there's the broader implications for Europe, for Poland and Europe, as they absorb this huge inflow of refugees.
Yeah, and of course, Tommy, then, a lot of the people that are on the ground really not knowing where they'll go next. What sort of financial assistance are the refugees given?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. In fact, I spoke to a mother about half an hour ago with a 2-month-old baby who had crossed over in the last few hours. She had to spend the night outside on the Ukrainian side of the border, and she was being put into a bus to be taken to Krakow here in Poland. She has friends or relatives there who can accommodate her. Many others, of course, don't have those options. Some do. So it's a question of the logistics, busing people to towns and cities across Europe where they either have those connections or people are opening up their homes to accommodate people. Part of that is a long process, of course. In terms of what's happening financially, we know that the Polish government has put in place a $1.7 billion program of assistance to help fund and pay for the costs of absorbing these refugees, including allowing Ukrainians to work for up to 18 months, putting and giving some money to Polish families to accommodate some of these Ukrainian refugees. But it's the United Nations who say they need additional funding as well. They need at least $1 billion. The local coordinator was telling me last night, to facilitate the logistics here, ensure people have the medical supplies, clothing that they need. Again, as we face up to the largest refugee crisis Europe has seen since World War II.